Welcome to Loud and Unscripted, the podcast where authenticity meets growth. I'm Kaity.
And I'm Thalia. Join us as we fearlessly dive into the dynamic world of relationships,
Untangle family dramas, and empower women with a growth mindset.
No scripts.
Just real conversations.
Welcome to another episode of Loud and Unscripted.
We're going to dive in today to a topic that a lot of us have experienced.
Yes.
In our lifetime now, maybe in the past, or you will.
Yeah.
And that's outgrowing your circle. It happens to all of us, specifically when we're going through transformational moments in our lives. Maybe you just started school, you became a mom, you moved, and you just start to think, am I supposed to be around these people or this person? Are they in alignment with my life? And before we go into the nitty-gritty of all this, I just want to note, when you start to feel this way, it's never that you regret these moments with them. Mm-hmm. You're always so thankful and love these people, but something just doesn't feel
changes.
Right.
Yeah, and it's typically you. So if you feel like this is you, like you think this might be you, or you are going through a friendship breakup, or you just finished your friendship breakup, this is the podcast for you, because we're going to take you through the signs of outgrowing your friends.
Yes.
It's growing pains. It happens,
and sometimes it kind of sucks, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And the first sign that I want to talk about is if your friendship is rooted in the past. Mm-hmm. If your friendship with this person is centered around nostalgic memories, all the fun times from behind, and never thinking about, okay, how are we going to move forward as people in the future?
Right, I feel you. I feel like for them, you're the one changing, they're not changing. So you're the one who's kind of weird, and they're just like basking in these glory days. They're thinking they're basking in these memories, but really for you, you're just like, I'm just trying to move forward. Like, I'm not trying to think about the times that I was drunk and I did all these silly mistakes in my early 20s. Like, I want more for myself, so I'm not stuck in that past. There were great memories. But can I just like do these building blocks as foundation for the women I want to become?
Yeah, like can we leave her back there?
Yeah, leave her back there for a little bit. Let's revisit those memories when we're like 30 to laugh about them. But like, it's too soon.
Not her saying when we're 30, bitch. I'm 30.
Oh, yeah. Well, for me.
Well, anyways, my listeners who are past 30s, guys, we're not old, I promise. But I love that you said that, because another sign is that the person that you're hanging out with, that you're feeling a little funny with, they always turn you into a past version of yourself. This version that you work so hard to outgrow.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I did all the inner work, and I don't want to be petty anymore, and I don't want to be rowdy
and aggressive, gossipy.
Yes.
Like, it's just like, can I decide that I've grown and I don't do that anymore? And when I tell you I don't want to do that anymore, can it just be okay? Like,
yeah.
What is
why I gotta be acting funny? Like, why can't I just be a grown up, but yes, a grown up version of myself. Yeah,
it is. Why can't I just be the better version of myself? I may not be the best, but at this moment, I'm growing. I'm becoming better and closer to who I want to be, who I see myself as.
Yes, like, have you ever had a friend who, if you bring her around your new group of friends, or like, these are a group of friends that are meeting you in the new version of you, and this older friend, they want to come in and everything that they talk about is like,
that's not her.
That's
she is.
Or shitty things that you've done, or you know.
Well, damn. Okay, I did that and I learned from it.
Like, right? Like, why are we bringing up old me?
For real.
We on to like 10 chapters ahead, you know.
Yeah.
Or are we still on chapter 2 when you're talking to this person? And that's a really big sign too, because a friend who is okay with your growth and wants to see you grow would never want to put you down in front of new people.
Yeah.
So that's a really big one. You know, you work so hard to outgrow this like pettiness, or like I said, or this aggression, or maybe just an attitude. And you work so damn hard, and then this one person is always like, come back to the dark side, come back.
Like, okay, I'm making new friends. I don't want them to see me in that light, because at least you saw the good and the bad during that time. Don't tell my new friends about something that I did that wasn't so great. Because I had good moments too, but you're not sharing those moments.
Right. Like, we're not living there anymore.
Yeah.
We're done with that. Okay? Bye.
Yeah, but part of that, to make those people feel good, so another sign that I feel is relevant is when you try to make them feel good, by remaining the same, you're also exhausting yourself.
That's that other one. Jot it down if you've been taking notes.
Do you feel exhausted after you hang out with this friend? A friend who you used to love being around so much, but now you're like, all right, I need a week or two before I see you again.
The feelings. This is a really important one because I think we overlook this. The feelings after the hangout, you know, after you go out with this person, after you visit them. How do you feel as a person? We're all here. We have individual human experiences, all of us. And when you take yourself out of that combined experience that you just had, how do you feel? Are you energized? Or do you feel like, whoa, I need a break.
Drained.
Like,
damn, I need a nap when I get home.
Yes,
and
I need
it's
a
not
nap.
because you're exhausted. I'll tell you that. It's not, you may think that, but you're not realizing, like, yo, I'm tired of playing pretend. Like, this isn't who I want to be anymore. I don't want to do, like, I don't know, some friends maybe they still drink very crazily. I don't know how to say that. Like,
yeah, just like a lot in
drink.
excess.
Yeah, like in excess. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like I don't want to black out anymore. I just want to have a nice drink or two, or I don't want to talk shit about people. I don't want to go outside and judge people and hate on people. I like people watching too. But it's not like for every single person. Like that's just
if
so
that's the
gross.
only thing you have in common with someone is gossiping, that's also like a huge red flag that I think goes into all of us, right? It's like that's not conducive to your growth. So why are we doing this? And listen, we're not saints. It happens, right? You know, you hang out with your girls, and some girl from high school just got pregnant. Oh my God, so and so got pregnant. You know?
Yeah, it happens, right? But it to be happening every single time, and like that's going back to being stuck in the past. About people from the past. Who cares? I don't care what they're up to. I don't care what they're doing. Like, why do we need to keep discussing that? We're not in that phase anymore.
Yeah, and there's so much more to life, you know, than living in the past. And when you said, you know, how you're done pretending to, like, it's just pretending to be fake, like it feels like an effort. I think that brings us to point number 4, you know, that sign number 4, or is that 3 or 4? Who knows, guys? If you're keeping track, here's the next one. Oh yeah, number 4. Not clicking with someone anymore. And this is beyond feeling like I don't like this person. It's just not the same easy-going vibes like it was.
Yeah,
the chemistry
is not just for a relationship, it's with friendships too. But that chemistry is not there, you're not clicking. It's just like you're having a hard time relating to them, to their stories, but you also don't want to make them feel bad. Your body's tired of playing fake. Like, you're tired of playing this character that you no longer are. We're trying to move forward, and you need to be in that truth.
Yeah, and honestly, when you unlock a new character, it's real hard to, like, put on old. You know, like, on old characters. You don't want to go to the, you're like, been there, done that.
Right.
I already unlocked this one. You know, what's going on? And if someone's, you know, if someone's presence or time with someone makes you feel uncomfortable for the majority of the time, or like you're saying, like you're practicing, like you're pretending in a way, then that's a huge sign. Because a true friend, you could just do this, like you chill on the couch and you just be chilling.
Yeah, just chilling.
That's how I measure my. Yeah, that's how I measure my friendship. I'm like, can I be friends with her? Because I gotta be able to do nothing with her.
Yes. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like if I could do nothing with her, that's my girl. But if we always gotta be out and about, you know, and sometimes just even friendship, like point number 1, like from the past, you start to feel so uncomfortable just hanging out with them. And that becomes real draining, like you mentioned. So not a good one. But we mentioned all the signs for the other people. A lot of the signs that we were talking about was really like how other people have made us feel in our circle.
And it's really easy to do that, to point the finger and say, like, it's you making me feel this way.
Yeah. And you start to be like, I feel funny around this person. They must be funny. But the truth is that all those signs really just come with your growth, and you're the one changing.
Yeah.
So your world around you is like staying the same, essentially. And all of a sudden now you have new perspective. And here's the downside of perspective is feeling like, everything around me is not matching. Yeah, exactly.
What I want.
You just start
right, like you said, you're changing. They're not. So like it's you who has to also make that change and take that first step into a different direction when it comes to these friendships.
Right. It's like you start to feel like, I don't know, these people around me, they are seemingly doing the same thing, but their behaviors and like the way that they move, it's starting to bother me a little bit. Like I don't feel that great about it.
Yeah, and I feel like, so people are a reflection of like yourself too, the things that you enjoy, the behaviors that you enjoy. So when their behaviors start becoming evident to you, now it's something that's a little problematic. That's because that's just not what you accept anymore. It's not what you agree with anymore. Random thought. The book, The Four Agreements, has helped me think about that. It's like,
ooh, write that down, guys.
yes.
I actually started to listen to the audiobook. Yes,
it's so good. And it talks about what you agree with is what you believe and what you end up embodying. So when you stop agreeing with that, that's when you start to feel like, I don't like that. I don't like, you know, you may externally you're judging them, but really internally you're also judging yourself, because you're like, wait, do I do that? Is that what I'm about? I don't really want to be about that.
If you're self-aware, so I love that you said that. Like,
that's the word.
Yeah, because you have to be self-aware to realize, like, am I also, like, are other people perceiving me in the way that I'm perceiving this person that I don't like?
Yeah.
And that's why it's really important when you do the inner work, because all of this comes from you doing the inner work. If you're outgrowing anything, anyone, you have done some type of inner work in order for you to outgrow. But when you start to, like you said, like kind of point the finger or realize, wait, I don't like that. You have to be very, very, what's the word? Like, quick to check yourself.
Yes.
You got to make sure, wait, am I being judgy? Which is a bad trait. If you're growing, you don't want to be that person anyway and judge everyone. Or am I realizing something about myself that I don't like and I got to work on?
I like that you said, like, you don't want to judge anyone, because in retrospect, you're judging yourself.
True.
Maybe you are judging yourself in a way.
I think, what you said earlier was, you know, like those traits, everything that you like or don't like about someone else, you'll see that and find it in yourself as well. And you're right. Like, so if you're judging someone else, you are judging yourself.
Yeah.
So.
And in this way, I feel like, I don't know if maybe with someone else's perception, if maybe they were the friend that was stepped away from and they didn't understand. I don't want anyone to be confused with us thinking like, oh, if you're the one thinking of better, then you're better. It's not about that. People are on different journeys. And if your friend is on a journey where right now they are a little stagnant and they just have to face themselves, that's their portion. That's their job.
That's a really important part. Like, so important, especially because I did start this podcast, you know, saying this is nothing to do with the other person, like, not liking them or regretting their time. So it's important to realize, like, these are people that you love.
Yeah.
So you don't want to start, you know, pushing them away prematurely before you check yourself and say, wait a second. Everyone has their own journey, their own human experience on this earth. And maybe I'm just going at a pace right now that does not match this other person.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't mean you have to cut them off. It just means maybe you have to, like, reduce time, because your time has to be spent growing yourself and whatever you're working on, and checking in instead of, like, staying where they're at. That's a really important thing. Is, like, sometimes you're sprinting through life and you have a friend who's, like, walking. You don't have to stop and walk with them, but you also don't have to judge them because they're walking. It's like,
but sometimes the walker gets offended. And that's when things get a little hard and messy.
That is hard.
Because then it's like, okay, I'm not even doing anything but doing me.
Right. Like, why are you getting mad? Why are you getting mad? I want to be better.
You encouraged me doing me when we was doing us.
Right.
But now that it's not like that, like, now it's not okay. Now you feel slighted, but maybe if you feel slighted, you should take a look and, like, am I slighted because I feel like I'm not progressing, I'm not moving, or I don't know. It's not that you are not progressing, you just don't know at the moment. And that's okay too. I think the best of friends, the soulmate of friends, understand that we are all moving at a different pace, and you're just happy for each other. You're happy for someone else's growth, with also thinking, like, I can't wait for that to happen to me. Like, I'm excited for that to be my journey too.
Right. And if you don't have that type of support, you should not feel bad outgrowing that person.
Yeah.
Because that's not someone you want for future you.
Yeah.
You know, you deserve to be celebrated and just supported by all the people around you. And if there's someone who's not on board with your growth, there's someone that doesn't deserve the better you know, the best version of you. They don't deserve that because they weren't a part of your
but
your
also
support system,
keep it cute. From experience, I just want to say, keep it cute. Don't give in. That's how much I want to say about that. Yeah, it is. Don't get into the messy. Don't get into the messy. Don't be like, you know, if they're fighting with fire, just water it down, because it won't explode more, right? But if you like
Right.
do more,
Don't
then
fight
it
fire with
becomes
fire.
bad blood when it was never even about bad. It becomes about something it never was supposed to be in the first place.
Yeah.
So
So
my
what
advice
would
is-
you do then if you have felt, okay, let's scenario, we're going to paint a scenario.
Mhm.
Everyone listening, we're painting a scenario right now. And you have been best friends with this person for, let's say, you're nearing 30, okay, maybe. So
I am, and I'm okay with it.
and let's say you've been friends with this person for like 10 years, okay?
Mhm.
How do you now let them know, because you've realized, wait, this friendship no longer serves me in the way that it once did?
Honestly, it depends on how it turns out. Like, is this person talking bad about me? Then I think I'm just gonna move away from you, and you can sit there with
Silently.
your feelings. Yeah, you can sit there with your feelings. The issue with my experience is that I didn't leave silently, and I wish I would have. I wish I would have just kept it at the silence, but I felt like it's like walking away and then coming back like, you know what, bitch, I got something else to say, and it's just so stupid. Like, just keep it that way. Just keep it silent. But if they are telling you like what is going on and whatever, and they feel some type of way, I think an open conversation is warranted. If you really love that person and you feel like you deserve maybe just for me to explain, like, I'm just doing my own thing right now. I just need some space. It's not anything to do with you. It's just me discovering who I am and me wanting to explore more.
Yeah.
What would you do?
It is hard, like exactly what you said. Like, I really think it's like case by case, because there are some friendships that I think you can do. I think you could be like, all right, I'm posting this. It's just not serving me. I mean, like you said, some people are gonna be. And this sounds really bad, but I think it's very accurate. Like, some people are gonna be like cancerous in your life. Yeah, unscripted. You're right.
Go ahead.
They're gonna be like cancerous in your life, and sometimes the only way you can get rid of cancer is by like literally cutting it out and being like, I can't deal with this anymore. But then there are relationships that I think you hate to outgrow. Like, it pains you because you love them so deeply.
Yeah.
And they didn't do anything wrong with you, but you're just not on the right path. And I think that deserves a conversation.
Yeah.
With yourself and the person. Because like I mentioned earlier, you got to make sure, am I judging this person through my new lens and projecting all of my growth onto them? Because again, everyone has their own journey, so you can't do that either.
Yeah.
Or does she truly or he truly just not serve the higher version of me that I'm trying to be at? Is there reciprocation? That's another thing. Sometimes you could be at different levels of growth paths. You know, it's like life is like up and down. But there could be a friendship where there's zero reciprocation on one end. You know what I mean? Like, one friend is take, and it's been like that for years and years and years. At that point, sometimes you gotta have the conversation and be like, listen, I'm done giving, because all I do is give, and I'm just ready to now be selfish with myself. And I think that those are important conversations. But yeah, it's really case by case. But I don't think there's ever a right or wrong. I think it's like, what's right for you? You know, like, are you, like we mentioned, are you turning into old you when you're around this person? Is it toxic all the time, where like frenemies vibes, you know?
Yeah.
Ooh, we hate those, right?
Frenemies. Realizing you have a frenemy really fucking sucks, especially when you've done a lot for them.
Yeah. And at that point, I feel like you gotta just be like, you know what? I don't gotta be nasty. I'm grown. I don't have to like. We don't gotta get into a fight. I don't have to go and sub you on Instagram or TikTok or whatever.
Something I'm learning is to never be ashamed for being your authentic self and being your best self to that person.
Yeah.
Being loyal or being vulnerable or just like taking care of them. Like, never feel ashamed that it wasn't wasted time. You showed someone how you love, how you care, and now by removing yourself, you're showing someone what it feels like to not be with you. So now moving forward, that impact is for them. They will never take that for granted on anybody else.
That's the hope, right?
Yeah, that's the hope.
That's the hope.
Even if their ego is telling them, like, you know, they fucked up with me and whatever, I think at the end of the day, subconsciously, it is there. That fear does stick there. I want to believe that.
Yeah.
For most people, that it does stick and it's there. You left that imprint.
And at the end of the day, you know what? Like, it's really about you. Because, like, I keep saying this, and you'll probably hear me say this a lot in this podcast, but it's just like, you really are here alone. Your experience is so unique. Make sure yours is filled with peace and joy. And if anyone is robbing you of those two things, goodbye, bye. Like, that's the only thing I should be focusing on. And just, like, love yourself enough to say, I love you, but I love me more. you know?
Yes, some people are in our life for a season or a reason or a lesson, and we have to be okay with what is for us just as much as what is not for us.
Facts. I love that little wrap up. In summary,
Do
what you gotta do for you.
Do you and never be ashamed of it.
Yeah, don't be ashamed of it. Be proud of your growth and be okay with letting go of what no longer serves you.
Yeah, period. Oof, that was amazing. Thank y'all so much for joining us on another episode. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please DM us or leave it in our comment section. We will definitely answer, and maybe we will answer something on the podcast.
Yes, we love it so much to hear from you. So thank you so much, and see you and hear from you on the next one.